Hey, what is up, everyone? How are you doing, my fellow instructors, trainers, and teachers? I hope everyone is having a blessed week, and I hope things are going great for your students. I'm doing this video because I've received a lot of emails um, asking the same question. And that one question, that one most common question is, what credentials or certifications would help me with my classroom instruction, or what credentials and or certifications would help my classroom be more help me to make my classroom be more creative. And honestly, I can tell you that there are none. Making you more manageable of time, making you a better leader. Yes, and all of that actually does tie in to, making your classroom a little bit more frugal. However, when it comes to creativity, when it comes to going above and beyond, to giving your students what they need, it's going to take a little bit more than letters behind your name. And I say that because it's true. It's just true. You have to have a passion for training and teaching and instructing. You do. With that passion, that your passion for what you do will help drive you to being open and receptive to others' perspectives and others' conceptions and or concepts, and it will lead you to start creating and developing your own teaching and learning strategies. And no credentials, no certification will give you that opportunity to do that. You just have to be passionate about what you do. You have to be passionate about not only your students, but about their learning progress and the path that they're taking to get there. Another question, and I hope that answered a lot of your questions. Another question that I receive in regards to, students successfully passing their state certification exam, how do I maintain a 100% pass rate? Again, that falls on me marrying my passion for what I do and ensuring that my students are getting what they need and then some. I take a lot of time and a lot of preparation into sculpting my lesson plan, and making sure that, not only am I going to be able to give my students adequate time during the theory portion or lectures when I'm giving lectures, but also the hands-on, making sure that I allot and carve out, equal amounts of time for both. But because the skills, the hands-on is so much more intimidating than the written, I do afford more time with, the hands-on skills, without taking away the importance of the written portion, because with the new updates, our students have to be able to critically think to answer some of these questions. Yes, a lot of the questions are still just, basic common sense, right? But then there are some questions which will, force our students to critically think. And with that being said, I do hold one or two lectures, at least one lecture, sometimes two, solely on critical thinking and how, my students or teaching my students how to adapt and how to think when it comes to nursing. And that's very important. especially for nurse aides, because they are going to be the first person 99.999% of the time that are going to be the first responders to whatever, right? Because they are with that, the patients more so than we as nurses are. So that is why I, decided to go ahead and do this video really quick to let you all know that, no certifications, no credentialing can really give you the passion that you need to, lead your students to success. And I always, tell this to folks. You have to keep in mind that, whatever your students do, however they perform, that's a reflection of you. That's a reflection of how you teach, how you train, how you instruct, and how you lead. And I'm a sole believer of that, right? And I want, when my students go to test, I want that NAE to ask, oh my gosh, who is their instructor? Like I need to meet their instructor because he or she did a fantastic job at training these students, right? That is what I want the nurse aide to say once my students have, finished testing. Instead of, oh my gosh, who was their instructor? Like, maybe she or he needs to rethink what they're doing, right? So, you can't have it both ways. You can either have it that way, one way or the other. And hopefully you will choose the other way where the instructor is so proud at how your students performed and they want to meet you, right? They want to meet you. So, again, passion is the key element to, formulating, and sculpting your lesson plan, formulating, and sculpting different teaching and learning strategies. And I always tell experienced instructors, as me, I'm an experienced instructor and trainer also, but I always tell them, you can't close your eyes and turn your head away from novice instructors' perspectives and their concepts, because you have to remember, with novice instructors, they have something to prove. They do. They have something to prove, not just to themselves, but to their students, to their program coordinator, to their fellow instructors, and also to their organization or company that is hosting the nurse aide training program. They have something to prove. Just as you and I, as experienced instructors, had something to prove when we first started teaching. And we can't forget that. We cannot forget that. Once we forget, we're washed up. As instructors, teachers, trainers, we're washed up. If we forget where we started from, if we forget our beginnings as a trainer or teacher or instructor, we're washed up, right? And I say that with all honesty and all respect to all instructors, teachers, and trainers out there, but it's true. It is so true. You forget, and I'm sure that we've heard many a times, when we worked in hospitals or rehab and nursing facilities, I would walk down the hall and I would hear a nurse telling a CNA, underneath her breath, I already got my license. So, you do whatever you think you need to do. I already got my license. Right. And I'm like, you're not supposed to do that. Like, you're that CNA's supervisor. You're supposed to be encouraging them. You're supposed to be guiding them, giving them guidance, not throwing your license or your education in their face. Right. And I feel the same way with instructor-student relationships. How would I look if I came into my class and my students are, playing around instead of studying, and the first thing that comes out my mouth is, you know what, I don't care. Y'all do what you want to do. I already got my license. I got credentials behind my name and everything. I'm set. I'm good to go. Y'all keep doing, keep playing around. I don't care. I got my license, right? How would that make me look and sound as an instructor? It would make me look horrible. And if I were to say that, it is time for me to go. Okay, just as if you say that, or even if you think that, it is time for you to find something else to do. Really, it is. So if, again, hopefully this message will come across to you all in a positive way. I know I'm throwing a lot of negatives in there, but, the purpose of this video is just to let you know that no matter how experienced you are as an instructor, trainer, or teacher, there's always room to learn something new, even if it is from a novice teacher or instructor or trainer. Again, they are like really some of the best folks to get some really good ideas because they are fresh, they are green, they haven't been tainted yet, right? So they're looking and researching different topics and different avenues that they can take to change or make a difference in their students' lives and make a difference in, the organization's productivity, of the training program. And then again, I don't turn down any inheritance. I don't, right? Anything that I can grasp onto, even though I feel like it may not be suitable for my students, I will take it anyways. I will inherit it and I will dissect it and I will take out what I can use, maybe alter or modify the things that, I feel aren't suitable or age appropriate. Or maybe, I feel like it really won't get my students' attention. I'll still take that and modify it to a point to where it will, be, helpful to my students. So don't be quick to say no, even though, at first glance, an idea or someone else's concept may not seem particularly helpful in your instructional setting. All right. So guys, I have got to get ready to go. I'm going to be traveling back to Houston this evening. I am tired. I'm going to try to lay down for an hour before I get on the road. But I need to be there for my husband who is hospitalized at Houston Methodist. Hey, again, if you don't know about my husband, he is very fragile, very ill. He is in need of a triple organ transplant, which I believe Houston Methodist is going to give the go-ahead to do. But we'll find out more tomorrow at the family support meeting. But just keep him in your prayers. I do have a GoFundMe campaign going on. If you are able to and would sincerely like to help us out financially, you can go to my GoFundMe account. I also have one on my Facebook page, fundraiser, and then share. If you're not able to donate monetarily, share our campaign with others, and we definitely need your prayers, okay? If y'all have any questions, I know I may get a lot of hate for this video, but I believe in transparency, and so I believe in telling it like it is, all right? So I love you guys, my fellow instructors, trainers, and teachers. Keep up the good work. Stay positive. If you walk into your classroom with a good attitude and you're positive and you're confident, your students will feel the same and they will respond in the same manner. Okay? So I will see you all later. Ciao.